Hey everybody, Special Agent 9 here with the Blackwater Bandits, and today we're going to talk about Overrun. This is one of many PvP modes that you will discover when you play Showdown Series medium size in Red Dead Redemption Online. Now, as usual, you'll begin with a standard load screen where you can choose your weapon loadout and purchase ammo. And if you watched our PvP video, then you know that you cannot purchase any special ammo or load any special ammo into your weapons at this time. If you want to use something like high velocity rounds or express rounds, get out the weapon that you want to use those rounds in and have that ammunition already loaded before you queue up for Overrun. We're going to start at this map, which is Katora Springs, and as you can see, there's a bunch of white circles on the map. As you run through the circles, they will turn the color of your team. You see me here, I'm running and all the circles are turning purple because I'm claiming territory for the purple team while killing orange players and attempting to take over orange circles. This is the objective of Overrun. Ideally, you'll turn every single circle the color of your team and you will end the bout early. This is played out in at least 3 bouts, the best out of 3 wins. Sometimes it goes for much longer. If one team wins a bout and then the next team wins a bout, it does go back and forth. But this is basically the objective. Very, very straightforward. There are several different maps, and it can get pretty intense, as you will see as this video progresses. Allow me to draw your attention to the very top of the screen. You can see 2 colors with numbers in them and a bar across the top. Now the bar shows how many colors of circles there are. If the bar is closer to the orange side, that means purple has more circles. If it's closer to the purple side, that means orange has more circles. And the numbers at the top, they show you how many bouts each team has won. You want to get that bar as close to your enemy color as possible because that means that your team has claimed more territory than the enemy team, and this is ultimately how you will win. There are some quirks of this particular map. As you can see, there are little pools of water everywhere. If you fall into one of these pools, you may find yourself swimming. It will absolutely slow down your momentum and trip you up. So you want to avoid falling down into those little pools of water at all costs. Sometimes it can be unavoidable, but do your best to skirt around them so that it won't slow you down at all. And we have a battleground resurrection there. It is a belt buckle to revive incapacitated posse members, so anytime there's a man down in the field, try to revive them and get them back up if you can. Not just to get the team back in the game, but because you may get a belt buckle for it. You may recognize Boom Baby 8 from our videos. He is one of our bandits, and as you can see, he uses his Deadeye a lot. Use your Deadeye a lot. All of the Deadeye cards give you some sort of special ability that will give you advantage. It will either heal you, it will keep you from taking damage. There's all kinds of things that they do. So use your Deadeye. Don't forget that you have that at all times. And you also have tonics and things that you can use to replenish your health and your Deadeye as needed. After you win 3 bouts, you will win the match and claim victory for your team. The stats it shows you are overall, over the course of all of the bouts you just played. And at the end, you will have to bury the losing team. Not really, it's just a fun cinematic. Look on the right hand side of Boom's screen here and you'll see the payout. You do get gold nuggets and cold hard cash for completing these. You'll get a little bit more for winning, but you'll get a little something for completing a match every single time. At the end of every match, you can look at the scoreboard. Do not take a lot of time looking at it, however, because these matches go pretty quickly, and you may need to mess with your weapon loadout before the next match. So don't linger on that screen because you are working with a limited amount of time. Let's go now to a different map. As you can see, this one takes place around a fort, and all of the circles are arranged completely around the fort. So obviously the best strategy to employ here would be to send half of your team to the left and half of the team to the right, squeeze your enemy on both sides, and hopefully overrun them by taking over all of the territories, just like we did in this clip. When you have a winning strategy that works, keep using it until the other team somehow compensates or finds a way to counteract your strategy. Always use a strategy that works. In this one, by sending half the team in one direction and the other half in another, this strategy should work most of the time for you. So this is what we recommend if you're on this particular map of Overrun. And as you can see, it works out quite well, particularly if you have a crack shot like Boom Baby 8 on your team. You can see AZ there running behind them, and the bandits are definitely in full force for Overrun today. All of these bouts are timed. Whoever has the most territories at the end of the time will win. You will also win by taking over all of the territories in one fell swoop. However, it is worth noting that if you end bouts early, you will get paid less money at the end of the match. So there is a price to be paid for being good. We all think that we should not be penalized for being great. We should actually get more money for ending matches early, but we don't make the rules, and so we're telling you what they are. We're going to take you to another map now. This is St. Denis, a town that you're probably already very familiar with, but you may have never seen it in this way. In this particular match, the territories you want to take over are arranged in a large circle that will take you through several streets of the town. Just stick to the path. If you veer outside of the path, you will get a warning. You will automatically die. So stay within the boundaries of the area that you're working with. Run around the circle, taking over territories, and do your best to kill all of your enemies. By circle, in this particular case, obviously I mean square. It is square or rectangular in shape. But this is not a video about geometry. This is a video about PvP, so it doesn't really matter if I use the wrong word. And again, on any map that may be circular or square or some other closed shape and design, it's best to send half the team in one direction and the other half in another, so you can come around and meet your opponents on both sides and hopefully just squeeze them out and take over all the territories. Always remember your basic PvP strategy, no matter what type of game mode you're in. If you're being shot at, try to dive out of the way by tapping X as you hold your controller joypad in that direction. And watch our PvP video to get all kinds of other tips about PvP and how to dominate your opponents in any type of game mode that you happen to play. Sometimes, rarely, taking over territories may not be the best strategy for Overrun. Sometimes you might want to post up somewhere for a second and just shoot enemies as they try to capture territories to prevent them from doing so. We take you now to the manor. As you can see on the overhead view, this is just a straight line. You're going to run from your base to the enemy base and attempt to capture all the territories that are in between. The thing about this map is that enemies will often try to flank you. They'll come at you from the sides in an attempt to throw you off balance and steal territories. They may also come up behind you and try to take territories by going back around to your base and getting behind you and taking over that way. So you want to always keep an eye out for these people on the flanks. Make sure that you're killing them. Don't let them just be on the sides. Don't let them just come back to your base and take over everything, because that can happen very, very easily. With that said, you do want to use a little bit of strategy here. Running straight down the middle towards the enemy base is probably going to get you killed a lot. It's going to be difficult to do that. You want to travel in a group in order to kill enemies as you go along. And if you need to go off to the side to try to hit them from the right or left, do that. Because running full frontal assault at them is probably not going to work. At least it's not going to work every time. When you get to the middle where the two halves meet, things are going to get very, very dicey. So make sure that you're looking sharp, make sure that you have team members with you, and just kill, kill, kill as much as you can. This is another PvP mode where the Slippery Bastard Deadeye ability is extremely helpful. You just pop that ability and nobody can lock onto you to target you, so you can just run right past enemies and take over their territories right in their faces while they stand helplessly by, wishing that it wasn't so. In order to do this, of course, you will need to keep your Deadeye bar active, so you'll have to eat tobacco, snake oil, take tonics, whatever it takes for you to keep your Deadeye going. And if you do that, it will absolutely work. The Slippery Bastard card is very, very useful in most all of the PvP game modes. Since this is played out in a series of bouts, if one team wins 2 and the other team wins 2, it will all come down to a 5th and final bout. This is absolutely the most amount of bouts that you can play in a single Overrun match, which means, of course, that you should get the most possible money for completing the match, and if you win, then you'll get the most money that is possible. Again, don't forget everything you've already learned from our PvP videos. Take cover when you need to. Duck down and hide. Grab something to replenish your health if you need to. You're here to win, so use all of your tricks and strategies that you've learned. They will be useful no matter what type of PvP game mode you happen to be in. We now take you to the river. This is a somewhat crooked line going across the river, as you can see, and this is the toughest map of Overrun. Many, many times, one team will leave people behind on one side of the river who will sit and snipe players as they attempt to go across the river. You have to use a lot of strategy and a lot of tricks and all of your PvP knowledge in order to win this particular match. As you can see, you have to go right across the middle of the river in order to take territories. The other team is right there fighting you the whole way. They'll go off to the sides to try to get around behind you. They will snipe at you from their base, and you will have to do everything you can in order to win. Work together as a team. Go off to the sides if you think you can sneak around behind them. I've done that a few times. It can be useful. It can also be a death sentence. This is a knockdown, drag-out fight in the middle of the water. May the best team win. But of course, sometimes, no matter how hard you fight, no matter how great your strategy is, you will not win. You will still get paid, so it's okay, and you'll live to fight another day. But for now, after you lose, you will see yourself lying in a coffin, dead and defeated. This video has been brought to you by the Blackwater Bandits. So, on behalf of all of us, we would like to say thank you for watching. From Dude Rizza, Special Agent 9, AZ, and Boom Baby 8. If you like this video, please put a like on it and let us know. And please subscribe to our channel for lots more PvP videos and other tutorials for Red Dead Redemption Online. We are the Blackwater Bandits.